what's going on, guys? Happy Friday to you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Friday's edition of Weekend Prep JEDIOSHI style. We're going to dig in on some charts today. And we're going to kind of go back to just basic chart analysis and just flash a blank chart on the screen and kind of dig in on it. But before we get in, if you would like the video, give it a thumbs up. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter and send a DM. And for access to our Telegram. We are a community of people working to learn the skill of reading charts, thinking like traders, and mastering any market. So let's get started here, guys. S&P on the daily. This is really interesting, and I'm going to try to string together kind of this theory for you. And I don't know why, if I'm just seeing like this rumor of, XRP settlement coming soon or not, but I don't know why, but I just triggered bullish, in my JEDIOSHI senses are just triggering bullish for me. But we are bouncing here on the S&P at 3,400 right here, or sorry, 4,300, 4,287. So we're getting a bounce. Not surprising, that comes in line with a rejection on the DXY here at the 702 at 99. So DXY ran up here to 99, gets rejected. My grand theory is the dollar falls from here. Equities strengthen from here. Equities bounce from here. Bitcoin bounces from here. And it's correlated. Doesn't move exactly. But the commodities cool off. So we're seeing wheat, oil, these crazy moves. Even silver's up a little bit, but so this is the dollar chart. Just know that on the daily, we're rejecting up the 702. Okay, if I go to futures, look at wheat. This is crazy. Just commodities are just ripping right now. And boy, oh boy, would it be nice for Bitcoin to follow commodities or be paired to commodities for now. But this is the daily. This is a wheat futures chart back to 2008, right? Wheat's ripping. Crude was ripping, hit a high of 116. Now it's down to 110. Still, it's parabolic. Let's look at silver real quick. Silver's at 26, not quite past these old highs, right? Of $30 from August of 2020. So, I think that has room to go. Silver does. Gold, let's look at it. I haven't looked at this in a long time. Interesting. Gold high of 2,000. So 2,000 an ounce is kind of that psychological level, and then above 2070 would be new all-time highs, as far as I can tell. Wow, that would be pretty slick to see that. But so we're seeing commodities get a lot of parabolic action, push way up. The dollar pegged out at 702. To see those move together is ironic. But, if my grand theory, kind of why I mentioned I just started feeling bullish all of a sudden. The dollar rejection off the 702 at 99, dollar cools off, equities catch a bounce. And, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But again, like I said, I wanted to dig into charts and to show you some stuff. So let's take a look at the daily on the S&P. We do this a lot, but basically in this fib channel, we're still fighting around here. We had a near kiss today on today's candle, again at the 236 at 42.81. So it is a mini higher low on kind of like the few days. Interestingly, though, yesterday's candle, or the day before yesterday's candle, body closed higher than the previous. So it was a bullish sign, but then it just fell off, right? So, all these are kind of indicators, right? Nothing is a guarantee, but if we can bounce here and the dollar can fade, and that'll be bullish for equities and for crypto. So we just have to see here what happens. Before, even back here, my theory was, above 618 bullish, below 236 bearish, but we're bouncing off above the 236. So we'll see what happens. If we fall here and we close some candles down here, I think we can expect new lows, in my opinion. which would have a drag on crypto, Bitcoin, and etc. But if we can hold this and if we can find some strength, you know, it would be interesting to see us move up from here. So we'll have to see. But let's look at Bitcoin. I know that's what we're all kind of here for, but that's the picture in equities. This is the fractal. Definite deviation here the last 3 days, right? We were following, and then we just fell out. And now, you know, I think, am I willing to just throw this away forever and never think about it again? We'll always be thinking about it, but you know, this was a straight up move up into this range and then a further move up here. You know, I think at this point in my mind, we are now doing something else than we are doing the fractal. So, if I were just to blast the fractal and just to, let me see if I can get one without the fractal on it. Yeah, I had this. I posted this. This is Bitstamp. I posted this in the Telegram. But basically, things I'm looking for right now, you know, we had this, these old levels. I would call this resistance to this data set. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. We had this resistance on this data set, also coupled with some support here, and everything was above this line. And then we bounced off this line before, and we came up and we tagged it, and we couldn't get through. So a couple ways you could draw this, obviously, you know, down here at the bodies or whatever, and it's kind of a range, right? All the horizontal guys that hate on diagonals, but have to use horizontals as a range, right? Never use a diagonal as a range, but that's fine. I think it's just funny. But you know, I have two theories. One is, and maybe we come down to here to 40K, the psychological 40, which would be here, but which would say move this line up to here for a bounce off 40. So let's move that. Maybe something like that. And if we break 40, I think we come lower. So well, obviously, right? So we'll see what happens. But if equities catch a bounce, if dollar is fading, you know, if kind of the tides change, is kind of the theory, is that are we potentially at a tide changing moment, at least for the near term, at least for the day, for the few days. So I'm going to delete this and we're going to just look at the chart. And we'll pull up the RSI because I want to start with weekly. We won't use the rainbow. All right, let's use the rainbow. Okay. It's a cool indicator. Let's use it. So on the rainbow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to blast the 5, 15, 30, 60. I'm going to use the 4 hour. I don't have daily on here, but I could add it. It would be nice. So I'm going to add the daily for a look at the weekly. So what I want to show you was this. Okay. We have some, what I would call RSI divergence. Again, this purple is 4 hour, white is weekly. So what I would do is I'd just go in the code and I would add number of minutes, right, that are in a day into as a new indicator on a daily RSI, so that I could see the daily RSI versus the weekly, because I think we're seeing divergence as well from daily to weekly. Actually, this worked. No, it doesn't, because this holds on the weekly. But sorry, we mentioned in the live stream that the weekly RSI is looking strong. It was above here at the time. The candle body was above these bodies at the time. You know, it did look pretty promising. You know, the week's not out. We still have over 2 days left, right? So we are seeing low time frame divergence. 4 hour is back down here. Weekly is up. So what I just see plainly in the chart, okay, RSI on 4 hour. Let's just go to the 4 hour. RSI now on 4 hour has what I would call reset. And what I was even back here, this would be last night. You know, we did break below 35 and we started to curl a little bit, but it's not quite as deep. So let's look at that. See how the RSI, if you were just to stop here at say 32, and I have my settings at 9, so it's pretty fast. But I mean, like, yeah, we did come down here and get a reset below this level at about 30. But most RSI drops, most resets are sub that, you know, are sub 30. So what I was looking for is a little bit deeper correction here on the 4 hour to bring us down here until we can move up again. But isn't that pretty amazing how high angle this is? You know, a lot of these are a little bit slower, right? So Although you have price drops that are faster. You know, the RSI kind of, cools down and then yeah, it did drop. But this has been a pretty fast RSI drop. Not sure that signals anything, but just to note. And, but back to levels on the RSI. You know, we had a 4 hour up at 85, right? Pretty high. Go back in time and you kind of look at, that's kind of statistically out there. 4 hours above 85 are not common, as you can tell on the chart back from July of last year. And I think we need to come down here to, I mean, we might hold here, right at 27, I guess, but something lower than say 30 was what I was expecting. And you do see some shallow dips here, but I think, and this might hold too, the lower we go here, the stronger our move out can be. The more robust, the more kind of, internal strength or more energy it might have to last on a move up. So that's a look at the 4 hour RSI. We have, we have reset, or we have come down here. Now we haven't curled back up to move back up, but we are below this 35. So we're oversold. So that's good to see. Okay. The 4 hours oversold. The daily. Now this is interesting because now this is the 4 hour and the daily, right? One thing that has me a little bit concerned, to be honest, is this daily curl. See on the daily how we came up to, we didn't quite make 70, but again, these are my settings at 9, but we curl down in this. I just wonder, can we do a mid-range reversal and bounce, or does the daily have to come down and reset as well? Right. So you go back in time and you look at when do we have kind of mid-range reversals after falling down? And there are some, like here, and let's correspond this to the chart here. That happened here at the top, right? We came down, we did a mid-range reversal and poked back up. But most times when you do that, and again, this didn't quite make 70. So I'm not, it's kind of like, where do you fall from? I think matters in my opinion. So, it's going to be, you kind of having competing RSIs in my opinion. The daily is curling down. Now it's below 50. The weekly is trending up, and the 4 hours down, it's reset. And we'll maybe look at some lower time frames. But, so you have the weekly RSI up, the daily is down, the 4 hours reset. So there is definite conflict between bulls and bears here, because we're not an obvious trend, right? Another notable here is that the RSI is crossing below the MA. So note that doesn't mean it can't turn, but like I said, this is one thing that is concerning to me, at least for the bullish case. But also I draw this line in here, as sort of a support line. There's a chance that we bounce off this too, right? So watching that as well. But before, I was going to do some levels and maybe some wave work or whatever on the Bitcoin chart. But before we do that, let me just turn on the rainbow indicator here, turn on the 1 hour, and heck, let's do 30-minute. Why not? So this is on top of the 4 hour chart, right? So my 4 hour indicator is white. Oh, it's on top of purple, but we're getting the 1 hour is green. So the 1 hour is even lower. It is curling up on the current hour, but the 1 hour is even lower. 1 hour is down to 19. So it's pretty oversold on the 1 hour, right? So we have seen lower, obviously, but just to kind of know where we are. The 1 hour is a bit oversold. Could we bounce? Could you basically just do a bounce and then a drop? Of course, right? But that's kind of a look at RSIs, but let's look at just the chart itself. So how I would do this is just, if you showed me this blank chart and said, hey, what do you think? I'd say, okay, here's what I know. Here's what the chart's telling me. I'm going to make it up. I'm going to make it up and say that, tag that. So that's fine. But we have a bottom here. We have a low, a high, a higher low, and not quite higher high. So there's indecision in the chart as well here, right? Because we don't have you know, until we have a higher high here above 46. That's a 46K level right there. Until we have 46, we don't have a higher high. So if we do make 46 here, then that'll indicate trend is up. So we have a low, a high, a higher low, and not quite higher high. Okay, we know that. So we know that, you know, we have some near-term up movement, not confirmed on the next kind of high or low. And we're kind of waiting to see how that plays out. Okay, I'm gonna delete all that. So as I'm drawing, let's say this is part of our ABC up. And let's say, yeah, we broke the fractal. Yeah, it doesn't look great. We're falling out, but we reverse from here. Let's say that this is our low right here. Let's say that 40409 on Bitstamp is our low. What could that look like? So what I would do is I would paint an ABC. And let's just say we are still doing ABC. And maybe it's a different kind of ABC. Maybe it's not all in the next 20 days like the fractal indicated. But let's say it's something like, maybe it takes us into April 558 up here at the 618702 of this range. So let's say we do find the strength and somehow move up to here, right? Okay, what are the things that we're watching for? Let me show you guys. Okay, if we break this level here, okay, that invalidates, see how that invalidates ABC? And if we break 34.2, I'm not sure 33 holds either, honestly. If we break this, I'd be shocked if this holds, okay? So let's just say, I think that if we break this, we go to new lows in the near term. Maybe it's 30. Okay. So if we break that, then we break down and we have to start all over again on a retracer and impulsive move up. Okay. So that's a low level. That's a high level. So what we need to do is draw our Elliott wave impulse move on 1 through 5. And if this is it, if this is one of 5 and C, then 2 can come all the way back down to above here. So we could fade all the way down. So this is really what you need to know. We could fade all the way down to 34.3 and still keep the structure intact. It's not going to feel fun. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to look great. It's going to be a lot of, you know, a lot of everything. However, the uptrend wave count will still be intact. Okay, then 3 can't be the shortest, right? Let's just put it up kind of top of this range here. So let's say that we come back to 51 and then 4 comes back to maybe this high point here, right? And then C is 5 waves up, or 5th wave is up there like that. So that's possible. So that would be the max. This is what you need to know really. This would be the max drawdown that we could have, which still keeps an ABC retrace intact, which still keeps our 5 wave count structure intact. And, you know, this can really stop anywhere. It can come down to, you know, here at 40, say that's 40. It could be done. It could come to 40. It could come down here to support levels down here at 37. So we could see that. We could definitely see that. Just kind of looking at what else do I want to show or say. You know, yeah, we could definitely come down here and still everything is intact. We can come, don't forget, we can come down to 34.3 and on Bitstamp there and everything's still intact, right? So, okay. So that's kind of the grand picture. I think that, again, I've painted this a few times in the live stream. Let's just do it one more time. But if this is grand theory and we have 2 paths we're following. One is this was the top. 2 is this is not the top. If this is the top, then this would be a retrace. And as we break this, we break that. So then we'd go further down in the bear market, right? If this is not the top, then this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I think I actually drew that or spelled that out a little differently than in the live stream, but 1, 2, this could be 3 and 4, and then maybe a 5 like that or something, right? color that a little differently. So it could be something like that. But my whole point is, if we get this, if we move up here, if we somehow find a way, we make it back, we get a retracement, this, even if this is 3, and I think in the live stream I had it as, this, instead of this as shown being 4, I had it as shown being 2. So either way, you know, if this is a down leg, I don't want to participate. I don't want to participate. So this is a good place to be getting out, in my opinion, and for what I've been doing. You know, if we can find a way to get up here, I think alts will tell the story, honestly. You know, I think, is the cycle over or not really is a function of what alts do. If we see Bitcoin dominance break down, alts are flying, that's classic. And then the obvious classic is, hey, Litecoin just ripped new all-time highs. Okay, guys, get ready, right? Get out. That's your almost your number one indicator is when Litecoin pumps, it's over. You should say that about XRP, but we'll see. XRP probably too. But anyways, kind of a joke there, guys. But so that's kind of the grand theory. Realize this is 20 minutes, but that's what I'm thinking as far as near term levels to watch. We can come down all the way to 34.3 and hold a 5-wave structure up on a C. So, but if we break that, I think we're gonna have to redraw everything. Okay, so let's look at the 1 hour real quick. Time frame. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, what do we have on the 1 hour? Okay, 1 hour in white, RSI white, 4 hour purple, 30-minute blue. Okay, 30-minute is faster, and if I turned on the 5-minute too, you'll see that. 5 or 15, either one. I guess all of them. But this is why like 5 is so choppy, right? So like 5-minute launched here, but it's really early. It's just relative of the last 9 5-minute candles, right? So it's noisy and choppy. So yeah, 5 launches, 15 launches, 30-minute launches or crosses the 35. Then the 1 hour comes up. The 1 hour broke back down. Now you have 5 didn't even quite reset. Well, to get the proper resolution, I would go to the 5-minute chart. But on this anyways, now 5 minutes trending, and now everything's trending up. It's really near term, but really what I wanted to point out was there is a chance that this is our local bottom. I mean, there's a chance everything, right? But I would want to see this trend. I'd want to see us start to break trend, at least go sideways. You know, this was sideways. We broke down again. The new indicator I have, and I posted for you guys, is the MA pack. Let's go to the daily. I wanted to show you this real quick before I end this, but this is a 4 MA pack into one indicator, and you can change them in the code, but it's the MA 20, 50, 200, and the EMA 8, all with different and relative importance on your charts. But this allows you just to add it. So you have your MAs on here in your MA group, and you can go in here in your settings and you can turn off any one of these. Like, let's take off the 8, and that's fine. Okay. What's interesting here is on the daily, this is the daily MA 20 in blue and 50 in yellow. So we are sitting right now on top of these two. The 50 crossed above, I'm sorry, the 20 crossed above the 50 right here. So that was a bullish indicator, and price obviously dropped below and then bounced back. Now we're on the top side of this. So when you do in kind of maybe homework or whatever, and like what I've been doing is you go back in time and say, like, when have we been on top of these two indicators where the slower or the faster, the 20 is above the 50? So you go back here in time and you say, where have we seen, say, a time where we've been blue above yellow? Here, you know, and that stopped here. We got above it here, stopped here. We got above it here. So we've been above it. Obviously price was below, so we had to recover, and it's kind of a chop zone, right? So we're obvious, and we looked at the higher lows and that sort of thing. It's not an obvious uptrend, but we do have 20 above 50, and these connected support levels too. You know, there's just so much, right? Indicators, lines, and MAs. But we are sitting on top of the daily 20 and above the 50. So yes, could we bounce here? Yeah, I think we could. Could the dollar fall from the 702 retracement at 99? Yes. Could equities bounce? Yes. Could Bitcoin bounce? Yes. You know, so is the weekly RSI bullish? Yes. Is the 4-hour reset? Yes. Is the daily not quite bullish? That's the issue. Is the daily RSI is hooked downwards in a trend, but if it bounces off that line, can we move up? Yes. So there's a lot here, guys. It's not clear either way. We're not trending right now. So we're not in an obvious trend right now. So it's a little bit more challenging. But if you look at it, those are the key things. Wave count structure, we can come down to 34.3, still hold a 5-wave retrace up. We're above MAs. We have the RSI look. And that's about it. So those are things to watch out for. That's just, you know, kind of classic chart interpretation in my opinion. And, you know, I guess I've done her sideways, but I can make a case for us to put in a reversal around here. You know, I can make a case for us to have to come lower, but you know, these might hold. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's I guess that's kind of the 411 on just basic classical charting and analysis right now. So hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like, give it a thumbs up, enjoy it. Have a great weekend, guys. If anything crazy happens, we'll do a video or something, but I'll be with you in the Telegram. So we will see you next week. Have a good one.